Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Hiren Prada. Prada is pronounced like Prada with a T and without the money. I've been here since September 2018 in the E department. Previously, I was at UCSP. I was a postdoctoral research scholar over there for a little while. And then, I've been here ever since. And I love every single minute of it. So I love teaching. I've done some research in the past, but I don't enjoy it as much as I enjoy teaching. So there's nothing better than I like to be in a lab class with students trying to do hands-on learning. Okay. And likewise with lecture classes too. All right. So we are here to learn about electrical and electronics, right? Electrical electronics 115. These courses are specifically designed for CPE majors. So you have an entire sequence of courses. Is 115, the first one. Next quarter, you take 215. And the quarter after that, you take 315, 315. In fact, I just did 315 last spring. Maybe I might do it again next spring. I don't know. Depends on the department's needs. So I'm doing 115, both sections of 115 this quarter, and I'm also doing another section of 115 next quarter. My schedule is usually always packed, but this time it's even more than. So I'm doing 4 lectures and 2 lab classes. Usually it's like 3 lectures and 3 lab classes. I'm actually over the units. Anyway, so I'm here Monday, Wednesday, Friday for lecture classes. I'm here on Tuesdays for department meetings and academic senate meetings. And I'm here on Thursdays for my lab classes. In short, I'm here every single day from pretty much from 8 to 5. Okay. Let's go to the Canvas website. So apologies about setting up the Canvas website late. I was working all through summer, and I had a near full course load in summer too. And so we did like 3 lecture classes as well as 2 labs at the same time. Anyway, I wanted to do it, and so it was a good experience. And then I just moved last weekend. So I'm in the middle of a big move, and I'm surrounded by about 250 boxes and containers, and I can't even find my toothbrush. So I had to run out and get some. I don't know what's in what box or container. Anyway, so I'm running a little short on sleep as well as a little bit behind on the website. But I have the website up and running. It is published. Actually, I finished it up a few minutes ago, and then I clicked on the publish button, and apparently it didn't click right or whatever, but it's now published and it's available at your end. All right, so I'm assuming you have spent what one. This is not your first quarter here, is it? Second year, right? Okay. All right. So you've been here for a year, so there are some things that are familiar to you. But my Canvas website is a little bit different that you may be used to. Okay. So I don't think anyone I know sets up their website like this. So even though the website is mobile friendly, you can view it on a mobile phone or a tablet device. For first viewing, I always recommend viewing it on a desktop or a laptop. Okay. And it takes you directly to the front page, which looks like this. Now, this is a merged site of both of my sections, meaning 01 and 02. However, Canvas only shows 01. Not a big deal for you because you are already in section 01. 02 is at 2 p.m. Okay. They are also sharing the same website. Okay. So slight issue for them, but not for you. All right. So why is there a Zoom passcode at the top? Well, it's because I teach in person, and I have the setup here where I have this writing tablet. My monitor is extended with the desktop. This writing tablet is duplicated on the projector screens in front of you in the classroom. And then I log on to Zoom, and the shared screen and the projector is broadcast on Zoom. That broadcast is also recorded and posted on YouTube for learning. So students have 3 options. You can attend in person, you can attend online on Zoom, you can do neither of that or neither of those 2 and just watch the recorded videos, or you can do none of those 3 options and you can just learn by yourself, which is fine with me. Attendance is not mandatory. I don't mandate attendance. I do not tie attendance to grades in my classes. Okay, as long as a student is learning and they are completing the work that is set forth in front of them, and and they're doing a good job and they're making progress in their learning, that's all I would worry about. I do not enforce attendance or anything like that. Typically in the past, I've had students, I would see them on the first day of class, and then I would not see them, probably see them once a week, and then I would see them directly at the final exam. So it might happen. It's up to you guys. The lectures are posted on YouTube. It's a public channel. It's not monetized. Okay, so I have a separate account for for my education videos and stuff, and so I have not monetized that channel. More views is not going to make more money for me. It's not making even 1 cent for me. All right, it's just kept free and open for anyone, anywhere in the world, if they find it useful to learn from. But for you specifically for these classes, obviously, it would be very helpful, like right now. So in case you miss a class or you want to just watch the video later at night, that's an option that's available to you. Why is the font small? All right, so let's begin with the syllabus. So you have these links on the front page, and you have these links on the left. The links on the left are provided by the Canvas site. We cannot change them. We can only either hide, so we can only say yes or no to these links. We cannot add anything that is not available to us. Whereas the links in the front page in the center, these are created by me. Okay. So the syllabus link is the same as the syllabus on the left side. Same link, no difference. So here, right at the top. As the years go by, all our syllabi for across the world, they read more and more like a corporate agreement. Terms and conditions, do you agree? And one of the reasons for that is, well, unless it's stated in the syllabus, if a student has any objections or questions later on, the most common question will come up, but this wasn't in your syllabus. How can you enforce that rule now? So that's the reason it keeps getting more and more. And then there are students who keep who have questions as we go along. So the answers are there in the syllabus, and so then we can easily, if multiple students have the same question, then I can point them all in the same direction, saying, okay, here the answer is on this page. Okay, that's why it's like long. Now, use it as a reference. You don't need to read through all of it unless you have trouble sleeping at night. So I will hit the main points: assignments, grading, submissions, what you need to do, what you can expect from me, and what I expect from you. Okay, so we'll do all of that. And then the other links and other information in there, you can use it as a reference, meaning you go to that page, you go to that paragraph as and when you need, right? Right at the top, pretty much most instructors have this disclaimer: instructor reserves the right to alter, modify, or change any aspect of the syllabus or the course at any time. Okay. Typically, this modification is not major. It would be something like, let's say we have like 8 quizzes, and you might add in like a 9th or a 10th quiz. Or if you have 10 quizzes, you might take away one, due to lack of time or anything. One of the things I am informing you right now on the first day itself is like some aspects of the assignments and the grading structure, I'm still debating. So I'm going to finalize that in a few days, and I'll talk up more about it when we get to assignments and grading. Okay. All right, so this is EE 115, Electrical and Electronic Circuits. We meet every Monday, Wednesday, Friday in this classroom or on Zoom between 1 and 2 p.m. Section 2 is 2 and 3 p.m. While we are on that subject, since I talked about attendance, let me just talk about, let's go over their attendance. Okay, so class is conducted live and synchronous. Every class meeting is recorded. There are no cameras, nothing is recorded except my voice. And if somebody else asks a question, but that's going to be very faint. The option is available to all students. You do not need to inform me, meaning you attend one class in person and then Wednesday and Friday you say, I want to attend online. You don't need to notify me. So really, it's an option available to all students. If you're going to be absent, you don't need to notify me. Okay. You're all adults. Well, at least young adults. You're on your way to becoming an adult, or, you still got a few more years. But technically, if you're over the age of 18, the government considers anyone over the age of 18 as adults. So I would say you are young adults on your way learning how to navigate life. And I'm going to treat you as such. So you are in charge of your own education. You know what works best for you. I present the options to you. You pick and choose what works well for you. All right. So again, no need to notify me. You can attend in person, not attend. You can attend online or not attend, or just watch lecture videos, right? Attendance, of course, is important for learning. Since you have direct access to me, you can ask questions face to face. And then there is no first week participation activity, but if you're not yet registered, sorry, not registered, there'll be a small quiz and a discussion. So if you have not yet completed that by next week, then I would assume that you have dropped out. Okay. And if you do drop out, do not, I mean, it will be your responsibility to drop the class. I do not drop students. Okay, so I'm not taking attendance and I do not drop students. There are several professors who are like, would take attendance. And so if students don't show up, they'll say, okay, this student's not going to show up. I'm going to drop the student from my class. So students automatically assume that every professor does the same thing. But I don't do that. So I don't drop students. Okay, if you decide to drop the class, it is your responsibility to ensure that it is removed from your student center. Otherwise, you're going to end up with an F in a class that you do not attend. So please be aware of that. All right. One more point about attendance. If you have a time conflict and instead of attending like 1 p.m., so 1 week, let's say you have some appointment or something during class time, and you wish to attend the 2 p.m. section, that is fine. You simply show up, except for days where there are quizzes and assignments scheduled. Okay. I pretty much keep both sections in sync. Maybe a few minutes back and forth, depending on how many questions are asked in each section. But pretty much they're always in sync. And so students can attend instead of attending this section now. Next week, you might want to, 1 day a week, you might want to attend like 2 p.m. occasionally. That is fine with me. Again, you don't need to let me know unless we are having a quiz or an in-class assessment, which you will know about in advance. Okay. All right. As instructor, communication and office hours. My location is in Engineering East, room number 117. Does anyone know where the SPL is? You will get to know it soon because you're going to spend a lot of time in the SPL. SPL is the Student Project Lab. It's kind of like a shared resource space for all students, whether they're EE or CPE. And it's in room 111. So this building is in the shape of an E. We are in the, let's say, bottom wing or the bottom prong of the E. Then there's the middle wing. My office is 117 in the middle wing. It's exactly opposite room 111, room 111. I'm very easy to find. I'm here pretty much every single day, 8 to 5. But I have a busy schedule. I do not have my office hours finalized yet, but more likely than not, it will be Monday, Wednesday, Friday between 11 and 12. Okay, 11 and 12. And Monday, Wednesday, Friday between 1 and 4, I'm here in this room. Okay. All right. Email is my most preferred method of communication. htrada@calpoly.edu. Not a millennial or a Gen Z or a Gen X or Gen Y or Alpha or Beta or whatever. I still have my smartphone tied to my hip at all times. And I typically work till late at night, maybe around 11, 11:30, even midnight on sometimes. So if you have a question, you are working late at night, you send me an email at 11:30, chances are you might receive a response. Okay. Canvas works too, but sometimes Canvas has glitches and it does not pop up the notification on my phone instantly. But email has worked very well. So again, if I'm in front of a computer or have a smartphone with me, I always respond to emails. All right. If you are using your personal email ID, show of hands, how many use a personal email ID for communication? I used it when I was a student. Okay. So my Gmail inbox is now like 95% full. And I have like hundreds and thousands of emails dating back to my time, like nearly 20 years ago. So now I wish I had not ever used that. So it's a bit chore trying to go back and try to find all those emails. So on a personal level, you do not want to use your personal email IDs. You're just clogging up your inbox because 10 years from now, heck, even like 6 years from now, you're not going to care about any of the emails that you exchanged in Cal Poly. Okay, maybe few, but you could always forward that. So do not use your personal email ID. Use your Cal Poly email ID as much as possible. That is for a personal level, right? It's better for ourselves to keep our personal inboxes cluttered and separate, uncluttered and separate. More importantly, your Cal Poly email ID is verified to you. Okay, anybody can spoof a personal email address. So anybody can spoof my name, so hiren.trada789546@gmail.com, and send you an email saying that, hey, class is canceled today. No quiz, no exam, stay at home. Just if somebody wanted to mess with you, right? You would have first name Hiren, last name Trada. If you didn't pay attention to the email header, you would stay home on the day of an exam. On the flip side, someone could spoof your email and send us a question. What was my grade on that quiz or the homework? What is my current grade in the class? If we are not paying attention, we might divulge personal information about you to someone else. Okay. So I do not communicate or respond to emails that come from a personal email address, at least if I'm paying attention. So I try to make it a habit to always note the email header. So if it comes from a personal email address, you probably won't receive a response from me. Always use a Cal Poly email ID. And when you send me an email, in the subject line, just have EE115. That's it, nothing else. Oh, and your section number. So EE115-01, nothing else. I'm teaching multiple classes, multiple sections. If you send me a question, there are some topics that are overlapped with a couple of other classes. So if you send me a question, I need to go in there, dig up which class you're referring to, which homework assignment, which notes or which chapter. It seems like a small thing at your end, but it's a very big thing at my end. Okay, so help me be more efficient. Should not be 306, it should be 115. All right, my office is in 117. It's a safe place for all students. Feel free to drop by anytime. You're just passing by, you want to come and do your homework or something, you want to say hi, it's fine. It's always students, I always like students coming by. It's a shared office space between with four other professors. And my office hours, I'm also available on Zoom, but I do not log onto Zoom. Okay, let me be clear about that. When I have office hours, I'm only there in person. If you do need to see me on Zoom, you send me an email, I'm going to hop onto Zoom. I will not log onto Zoom and wait there for anyone to show up. So if you want to meet me on Zoom, just send me an email, we'll fix a time that is convenient to both of us, and I will hop on as soon as I can. All right. And my instructor schedule will appear at the bottom. So I have not yet finalized it. Once I finalize it, hopefully sometime this weekend, it will appear on this page. All right, course information. Okay, so here we are going to learn DC circuit analysis techniques of electrical devices and electronic devices, and we'll talk about the difference between the two in the beginning of chapter 1. Two terminal devices include resistors, capacitors, inductors. We have diodes, which is, excuse me, which is not a linear device. It's a non-linear device. Technically, it comes under semiconductors. Okay, but we still learn the basics of diodes. And then we'll apply principles of Ohm's law, KCL, and KVL. And you'll learn analysis techniques like node analysis, node voltage analysis, and mesh current analysis techniques. Okay, these are all important topics for fundamentals of electric circuit analysis. And you will need these, especially when you go 215 and 315. Okay, you will apply these techniques a lot in both those classes and in other classes. All right, you have the prerequisites, you have the core requisites, the concurrent requirement of E145. So Professor Ellis is teaching all 3 sections of the lab, which works out great because we share an office space. We work in close collaboration to ensure that our labs and our lectures stay in sync. Okay, so if you have any issues, vice versa, lecture or lab, you can come to either one of us. And major topics are listed here. Actually, they are detailed topics. But they're all listed here, and we will we'll cover We'll pretty much cover them all. Okay. The good thing about the fall quarter is we have 31 days. We have 31 Monday, Wednesday, Friday days. We start early and we do not lose a Monday to any holiday. So we have 31. Typically in one quarter, if our classes are scheduled Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we might end up with either 28 or 29 Monday, Wednesday, Friday days. But we have the luxury of having 31 in this quarter. So that's something that I really like. So the pace is not as frenzied. We do not have to rush through things. We can take our time, right? All right. My classes are typically structured with UDL principles. UDL stands for Universal Design for Learning. Simply stated, it means applying a wide range of tools and technology to benefit a wide range and diverse range of learning styles. Accommodates all kinds of student learning styles. Okay. So as an example, I'm broadcasting online. So let's say you're sick one day and you are contagious. Maybe you are contagious, maybe you're not. But if you caught something, you stay at home. Let me assure you, we don't want what you have. I don't want what you have, and neither do any of your peer classmates. Okay, so if you're feeling sick, you have a scratch in your throat, you're not feeling well, maybe you, I don't know, Saturday night, you might have partied a little bit too hard and you just, want to take the weekend off or the Monday off and you're late, stay at home, it's fine. Hopefully that doesn't happen too often. So it's baked into the course structure, is what I'm trying to get at. Meaning even if you stay at home, you can still attend online. If you overslept, or if you have an emergency, medical emergency, family emergency, whatever, for a reason, you can still watch the recorded video late at night. So that's one of the aspects of it fits into the UDL, Universal Design for Learning principles. All right. Lecture videos are recorded and posted. We talked about that. Textbook. This is not something that I have designed or I chose. It's pretty much done by a curriculum committee, and it's passed through multiple levels of approval a few years ago. And I pretty much have to stick to that. So the textbook is Rizzoni and Kearns, its Principles and Applications of Electrical Engineering. It used in all three of your classes, E115, 215, and 315. I am not mandating the purchase of this book. Okay, so if you wish to obtain it from alternative sources, don't let me know. Keep it to yourself. It's fine. And then there are supplemental texts that are freely available that are also listed on here. Okay. All right. Assignments and grading. Assignments and grading, they're split into 4 parts. There's homework, there's quizzes, there is a 1 midterm and 1 final exam. And what I have not yet finalized or decided is whether I want to have all quizzes or whether I want to have some quizzes and 1 midterm. Typically in my classes, I do not have any midterms. I only have a weekly quiz. A weekly quiz would run about 15-20 minutes in length. So it's equivalent to actually 2 midterms. That's what I typically do. But because this course is already designed and I have to follow that course structure, I might have to change my layout a little bit. So I might have some quizzes, maybe 1 midterm. Again, as I said, I haven't yet fully finalized. I'm going to decide in a few weeks. The midterm will be around 5th, or this is actually not the 5th, 6th week. So if we do have a midterm, it'll be on the Monday of the 6th week of classes. Okay, and you will know well in advance. I'll have all the quizzes and everything posted well in advance. So homework assignments are total together for up to 25% of your overall grade. Quizzes up to 30%, midterm is 20, and final exam is 25. So the weights are spread evenly across, so there's no one single factor that's going to disproportionately affect your grades. Okay, homework. If I set up an online system where students have to purchase a code and everything, you have to spend money to buy a code, then I have unlimited attempts for homework, but that's not easy to do with paper submission homework, right? And so if I can figure out a way where you can have multiple submissions for a homework, I will implement that. Otherwise, it will simply be you hand it in and you're graded based on your work. Okay. All right, final exam and then homework, quizzes, that rounds up to 100%. And let's see. Evaluations. You've been here 3 quarters. I'm assuming at the end of every single quarter, you at least been bombarded with emails from the administration saying that you have to fill out course evaluations. How many of you did submit course evaluations? Some of you, and almost big chunk. That's good. We appreciate that. So maybe I usually like to take the time and explain what they are. Okay. These evaluations are anonymous. We don't know who has submitted. We don't know. We don't even get these evaluation reports back until the beginning of the next quarter. Meaning, if you submit your evaluations now, we don't get it until, I'm sorry, not now. At the end of this quarter, we don't receive that report until, I want to say, wait, this is the fall quarter, right? So right before Christmas. So it goes into December 22, December 23. That's how late we have received. If it's the winter quarter, then we get it like after the spring break when the spring quarter is about to begin. And in the spring quarter, we get it like, after everything is done, commencement is done, students already gone, and that's when we receive the reports. Okay. Anyway, so the important point is it's completely anonymous, and we do not get to see the results of the comments until after, at least few weeks after the quarter is already ended. It's anonymous. The only thing we see at our end is how many students have submitted evaluations. So as of now, I think this class is full, so it has 36 students. So the only thing we see is 10 of 36 responses. That's all we see. And then we see the numbers and we see the comments. Okay. Now, these evaluations form part of our official employee record. They go into our official employee files. Every single one of us. The chair of the department, professors, lecturers, everybody who teaches a class, it becomes part of their official file. Okay, and every year we are evaluated. Every single one of us is evaluated. Even the dean and the president is also evaluated. Okay, so these are some things that are not transparent at the students' end, but it's not a secret. So I'm letting you know. It's the same for universities everywhere. Okay, every single person is evaluated. So they use these evaluations. These evaluations form a big chunk of our employee file and our official peer evaluations. Right. So be honest in the evaluations. It's a way of improving us and the program. And so students who come after you benefit. Students who came before you provided us with constructive feedback over the years. And so the things that you see in our course structures now is based as a result of student comments and feedback in the past. Okay, so it's a little bit of extra work, and I like to provide a little bit of extra credit to students in the amount of the response rate. It's an example, 36 students in the class. If at the end, we know that there are 36 of 36 responses, that is 100% response rate. So every student in the class receives 1 extra credit point applied to your overall grade. Meaning if you're at 89, you can be bumped up to a 90. If 18 of 36 students is the response rate, then it's a 50% rate. So every student still receives 0.5 points applied to your overall grade. So the more students who participate, the more everyone benefits. Whether you participate or not, you still benefit. Okay, so it's a community effort, right? And as I said, be honest, write your experience in there. You can write he sucks in there, but at least let us know why he sucks. So then we can actually improve, right? So if something isn't working for you, you should let us know. So that's the official evaluations. That doesn't help you in real time. Okay, so what I have in addition to the official is the unofficial weekly evaluations. In addition to the official evaluations, I implement this. It's a simple Google form. Again, it's anonymous. It's a publicly available form. Anybody who has the link can submit it. So you could potentially send it to your buddy sitting in Florida and you could fill it out on a beach. But please don't do so because, this is a way for me to make a course correction in real time. So every single week, If you have an experience or something that's not working for you, this is the space to let me know, and I can, make a course correction. So it benefits you in real time. Okay. Some things I can implement, some things I cannot change. So even though it may not be, there might be some small things that may not be working for you, I'm bound by the university's policies and the department's policies to follow those things. And so there might be some things that I cannot change. But for the most part, if it's within my control, I do implement the change in real time. All right. And this is every single week. So it's 36 times 9. Week 10 is the official evaluations. Week 9 is the unofficial. So 9 times 36, about 300 evaluations, give or take a few. At the end of the quarter, I will sum them all up, look at the total number of responses, and I will award every single student in the class extra credit point up to 2 extra credit points applied to your overall grade. So there's a total of 3 extra credit points available if you submit these evaluations. Okay. I never used to talk about the evaluation scale, but one quarter, just a few quarters ago, there was a comment says, I was not here for the class or whatever, or this week I was traveling, and so I choose 3 because I'm neutral. Was 3 neutral? I never thought to question it. And then I realized it's not a familiar scale to everyone. So let's say in all of your classes, your overall grade is calculated from 0 to 100%. It's 50% average. If you earn 50% in a class, what do you think? It's an F, right? Similarly, we have a scale. Evaluation scale is 1 to 5. So 3 is not neutral, 3 is not average, 3 is actually a failing score. The overall department average across 1,500 or nearly 1,500 evaluations, more than 1,000 responses, the entire department average is about 4.3. Okay, so if you're below 4.3, it's considered to be below average. So I did not think to question the scale. We just automatically assume that everybody knows what it is. But ever since I got that comment and feedback, I decided to okay, this is something that needs to be explained. Anyway, read through this. Enough about this. And let me know if you have any questions. As I said, there's tons of things in here. I want to make sure that I hit the major points. The other major points are here. On the left, you have this app from Microsoft Education. This Microsoft Education app is a single sign-on for all OneDrive and Class Notebook. So Class Notebook is a feature that Microsoft has provided with LMS integration, and it's based on Microsoft's OneNote software. So Microsoft OneNote is a very powerful digital note-taking software. It works across all platforms and all kinds of devices. You can use it on Windows, Mac OS, Android, iOS. Pretty much every device that I've ever owned can run Microsoft OneNote. The great thing about this is the Class Notebook has a feature where I've added students automatically into the Class Notebook. I will have the notes on here, and then I would write on the notes as we go along. Those annotations you can view in real time at your end. So it syncs automatically in a few minutes. So anything I write at my end in the notebook, it shows up at your end in your notebook. Okay, so those notes and annotations are not editable by you, but so you will already have my annotation and notes as we go along. Okay, and so all of my, actually, let me just show it right now. Open 115. Okay. All right. Welcome to Class Notebook. There should be. There's my section. Content library. And then section 01. So you can see all the student names are already on there automatically. All of you are added on there, but only you can view your section. So if you make any notes in there, it cannot be seen by anyone else. Well, except for me. But come on, taking a long time to sync. All right. What did I do? Anything I write or annotate here shows up at your end in real time. You don't know what's so special about this statement? She's correct. It has every letter of the English alphabet, A to Z. It's a good way to practice your handwriting skills. Quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dogs. Or jumps over the lazy dog. Either ways, A to Z. Everything's in there. All right. Let's go back to our Canvas website. Why is this? We have just over 10 minutes remaining. Zoom meeting links are right here. If you, well, actually, it should be in here. This is simply a link. Okay, it's a shortcut. That's all it is. So once you have this meeting and it's added to your Zoom, you can automatically open up directly from Zoom. You do not have to go into Canvas every single time. You can open it directly in Zoom if you have the meeting and the passcode. All right. There's a convenient link in here. All right. Let's see. Have you all taken any other CP classes before this? This is the first one here. So, well, the reason I'm asking is because if you're here for the first year, then you're all coming from different backgrounds. You don't know other people, right? That's it. So, as a way to get to know each other, this is something I do in my classes. Come on, what's up with this? Which is a discussion forum. Where you introduce yourself to the class. It's not due on January 11th. It's going to be due next Saturday. Next Saturday, okay? There's 5 points for a post and 5 for a reply. Now, it's part of your grade. It's going to get added to the quizzes. So it's 10 points overall. And there are some prompts that are provided here. And you can read my post below this. I'll just bring it up. So there are some prompts. You can share as much as you want or as little as you want. If you do not wish to share anything, that is fine. But do not leave your submission blank. You send me an email and let me know. All right. Because when I sit down to grade, I'm just going to look one submission, one reply, one submission, one post, one reply, one post, one reply. Okay. If I don't see a post or a reply under your name, you'll end up with a 0. Unless you have notified me that you're not comfortable posting information about yourself, right? If all you want to post about yourself is your name and 1 line or 2 lines, that's also fine. But if you don't want to post anything, you just let me know. You're not going to lose your points. You'll still receive full credit. Okay. So the hope is you would end up meeting some like-minded people because you're going to be here for the next few years, and it may blossom into a friendship or at least a professional relationship. Okay. And so there's a little bit about me in here and a couple of pictures at the end. from my time, I was trying to be like a leather wearing biker punk. Not really. That was a long time ago when I was in grad school. I had this for about 10 years, and then I mean I had it brand new in 2005, and like 10 days later someone stole it, and then recovered it like 30 days later. There was some guy stole it in the night and was trying to do like a wheelie. It's a quarter-ton motorcycle. You can't like not many very people can actually do a wheelie on that. Uh, I don't try to do any of that. I was simply just riding. That's all. And then I had it for 10 years. People kept trying to steal it within those 10 years. Every few months at the night, my alarm would keep going off. And then 2015, they finally managed to take off with it. So I was like, okay, fine. And I enjoyed it for 10 years. Now my wife says I can't have one, so I don't have one anymore. Anyway, so it's just a little few things about me. And then again, as I said, only share as much as you feel comfortable sharing. If you have a few hobbies, you'd be surprised at how many times there are students who find people who share the same interests and hobbies as they do. Okay. So the deadline for this will be next Saturday. And again, if you're not comfortable, don't share sharing anything, then don't share. It's fine. All right. All right. So I'm going to end here today. We will begin with quiz 0 on Monday. Quiz 0 is simply a way to get students acclimated to the process of taking quizzes in class. So if you're taking quizzes and assessments, you must be present on Mondays. All right. You can't be at home. You can take the quiz and then you can feel free to leave. That's fine. So every Monday, we'll usually have quizzes. Unless I decide not to, then you will know well in advance, unless I decide to have a midterm. Okay. So quiz 0, there is no penalty. It will just be based 3 or 4 questions based on the syllabus. If you earn like, let's say I make a 5-point quiz. So if you earn like a 3 out of 5, you get 2 questions wrong, you will still receive 5 points. Okay. So it's not a way of penalizing students. It's just to get students used to the setup of this course in the class, right? So Monday will be quiz 0, and then the week after that we'll begin like quiz 1 and 2 and 3. One thing about the classroom, this is something I mentioned at the very beginning. The Noyce School of Computing has spent upwards of $250,000 to actually refurbish this classroom. Okay, this was brand new last fall. I taught here in the fall. In winter and spring, I wasn't here, but I came back a few months later in spring, and the other professors didn't pay attention too much. There's a big liquid stain on the carpet over there, which again, they had to spend a lot of money for professional carpet cleaning, so you can't see it now. There's a lot of liquid stains over there. There's some stains over there, and there's a big spot right on front, and there are a couple of small spots over that side too. So, especially carpets, no matter which room you go to, please, no food or drink. You leave it outside the room unless you have a plastic or metal bottle with like a hard cap on it. Okay, like a screw-on cap. So even if it falls or something happens, it's not gonna spill. Absolutely nothing other than water in any kind of container. Okay, so leave it outside the room. You can feel free to walk in and out of the room anytime you want. You don't have to ask my permission. Okay, again, as I said, you're all adults. If you are getting bored and sleepy, you want to walk out, that's fine. If you need a place to sleep, you come here and sleep for 50 minutes, that's fine. Okay, it doesn't bother me. Restrooms right across this door. It's an all-gender restroom, so if you need to use the room, walk in and out as you want. Cell phones, you can watch cell phones if you want. Just make sure you wear a pair of headphones. That's all I ask. All right, I'll bid you a good weekend. I'll see you all on Monday. If you have any questions, I'm around. I'm also available via email. No, I don't think so. I don't think they